Hey folks, Lindsey Huddles from SPS back in the building over at Waverly High School, getting ready for the Waverly Warriors versus DeWitt Panthers, the SPS game of the week. That is today, Tuesday, but then on Friday we'll be back again, Waverly versus Everett. You have a little conflict going on right there, right?
Hey, the only conflict is Trey.
It's Trey. Trey, we shouting you out. That's going to be a great game. And at halftime on Friday, they're going to be recognizing the 2000 state championship Waverly boys basketball team. But to give a proper introduction, my guest today is someone many of you may be familiar with. I'm very familiar with because we were getting down on the Coach's Culture podcast some time ago. Always my partner in crime when I'm trying to put something together. He's putting me up on game, and iron sharpens iron. I really couldn't give enough appropriate introductions for Mr. Keith Tate. Keith keys to the new crib Tate, but also Coach Tate, and that's to respect I'll give him right now as we talk about Coach Tate and getting ready for this basketball game. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. You know, on the coaching grind. The father, you seeing Kai up here?
See Kai, this is Kai's place. This is a handsome son running it. I mean, the coaching grind is not. I mean, I'm thinking about it. Today is Tuesday. I think I came over here the other day, and man, we shut this place down just after regular practice, and then you're back at it again. I mean, for those who don't know, what is that coaching grind like for you right now?
Man, I mean, for varsity this year, because this is my first year back up on varsity being an assistant coach, I mean, it's the breaking down film at home, or if I'm at work, I'm breaking down film, taking notes for myself and for the players, for the other coaches, texting them. There's doing our film sessions before practice. Then, you know, we're still prepping for practice. Then we have practice. Then we're hanging out afterwards. You know, some kids getting up shots like Trey. He been staying after practice for like 30 minutes on the shooting machine. Wow. So either myself or Coach Watts is up here. You know, just a lot. And then, you know, managing the coaching staff, ourselves, and the players, you know. So
it doesn't seem like there's a lot of glory in those things you just named.
Nah, not at all. You know, you don't do it for the glory or for the money. It's, you know, just for the love of the game and for the kids, just trying to pour into them. Yeah.
So what is it like? I like to ask a lot of young coaches who are coaching now, what's it like coaching this generation of athletes?
You know, it's as everyone probably says, it's different, you know, because of the one, maybe just the attention span. Not saying that we had a great attention span when we were younger, but the attention span is a little bit different. The want to, there's fewer guys, in my opinion. I'm not just talking about Waverly, I'm just talking about overall, that have that want to, that just wants to play basketball just because they love basketball, because they love the competition of it. I don't know if it's gone down because you're worried about somebody filming you on the court getting messed up, or you know, whatever the situation may be. So me and Coach Watts was just talking about it the other day. I mean, Benjamin Davis used to be packed. Georgetown used to be packed. Bluebell, go out to MSU. You can go to Sharp Park, the West Side Park. I mean, there was just guys just playing all the time, whether middle school, high school, grown man, and it isn't, you know, the same. So it is different coaching this generation of athletes because of the desire isn't in most of them.
Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate. The desire is not in most of them, but a PlayStation hand controller is. And it's funny you made that comment about not working hard. I heard a kid say to my face, he said, man, I'm not going to play hard defense because I don't want to get crossed over and be put on social media. I was like, wow. I mean,
it's crazy, you know. And I try to tell most of the kids, Jaden Sutton that played here a few years ago, very good basketball player. I said he used to get crossed up a lot, but he also had a million steals too because he sold out on defense. He wasn't worrying about like, oh, I got crossed, so this dude made a nice move on me, because he ended up getting a couple of steals a game because he was going all out.
I like how you say he was sold out to him. So let me ask you about that a little bit. So how do you connect to players who may have that mindset or be thinking like that, and you want them to be able to recommit, or like you say with someone like Jaden to be sold out and committed?
Really, one of the things is trying to put it into practical life terms, is that you're going to have to sell out in college, not even on the athletic tip, on the academic tip.
Right.
If you have a job, you're going to have to sell out, or you're fired, or you're going to have a low-paying job. I mean,
in a relationship.
Exactly. Exactly.
Gotta be all in.
Right. So it's I try to bring everything back around to real life. How are your actions? Because it's not basketball. It's not skills. It's your actions, your demeanor, your character during practice, during games, before practice, after practice. Where's your focus at? You know what I mean? So it's just one of them things. Just trying to get them to reevaluate the big picture and saying, hey, you got to start building good habits now that translate to life. And also, guess what? That's your buddy over there, that senior guy over there. He's counting on you to do your job.
That's true.
If he's busting his butt and that guy's busting his butt and you aren't, that's just real. That's real selfish. You have to, set yourself to the side. And one of the things I'll shut up real quick.
No, you're fine.
One of the things I'm going to try to dive in some more with the kids this year and moving forward is Coach Popovich says it all the time. Get over yourself. Get over yourself.
Wow, that's big. Well, the reason I was getting ready to chime in because my question was going to be, I know you had great success as a freshman coach, and a lot of those guys that you coach are freshmen. They made their way up to varsity right now.
Yep.
But timeline-wise, you got a kid in the early part of the season and you got these different personalities coming in. About how long does it take you or should it take a coach to kind of get those kids to start buying in and coming out of some of those habits? I know different kids are different.
Man, that's a tough question, man. I can't even give you a real answer on that one, man, because
what's your experience been?
I think for a majority of the kids, I got most of them to buy in early, and sometimes they were already bought in, they're just already ready to get after it, period. Sure. So it's just me helping push them along and, smooth out the edges some. But really, after a few weeks, usually before that first game or after the first two games, you should have most of your guys, if not all of them, all the way sold, on what's going on. And really, it just gets back to, how we communicate with the players, this generation of athlete, again, I talk to Coach Watts about it all the time, we have to always, just in general, even with my own son, you can be tough and disciplined, but you also have to show some, which I talked to him about the other day, authentic love/positivity.
Authentic, so
it has to be authentic, man. I mean,
talk about that. Why do you emphasize authentic?
Because the kid is gonna be able to tell if it's fake. If it's fake love, you just saying it just because you read it in a book.
What does authentic love look like and sound like?
I mean, it's just pure joy. I mean, because if you love the game of basketball, you like the kids, you love the kids, you want them to excel. You're going to be excited for them when they make a good play. If they're diving on the floor, taking a charge, to make a good pass, they make a good cut. I mean, just all the small little details that you want them to do. Right. You have to pat them on the back for it. Right. Just as you notice their flaw, you have to notice what they do well and also comment on it for them.
That's great advice. And coming from Coach Watts, that's a great segue. What is it like working with Coach Rod Watts, being on his staff and being pretty much his right-hand lieutenant out here?
Man, as I tell everyone, it's been a blessing in disguise. It's been awesome. Not even in disguise. It's been a blessing, period, man. I really, he holds everyone accountable. One of his phrases is that you can catch it whether you 8 or 80 years old. You can catch it. So it makes me, I'm on my P's and Q's in practice when I'm on the phone with him, when we're in the game on the bench, because if I'm not doing my job, he gonna call me out in front of everybody.
Be very conscious of what you're doing.
Oh yeah, he ain't gonna wait until, he ain't gonna shoot me a text after the game and be like, hey man, you need to do better. He gonna say something right there on the bench. He gonna say something right there in practice.
How do you handle that?
I mean, he let you know what it is from Jump Street. Yeah. And guess what? How I handle it is get over yourself. So do your job. Do what you're supposed to do. He's giving me a lot of leeway. He's giving me a huge voice on the team.
Sure.
So
I saw you stop in practice the other day when I was over there watching.
Yeah,
Like, hold on, wait a minute, like this.
Hey man, he let me rock out, which is he doesn't have to. We didn't have a prior relationship like that until this year. So to the season. So I mean, he lets me rock out, let me do my thing, and but yeah, I mean, he holds the kids accountable. He holds us accountable. He's a phenomenal teacher.
Sure.
I mean, and that's one of the main reasons I wanted to move up to varsity, was so I could learn.
Right.
Like, if I was okay if I sat back and just jotting down notes the whole time.
Yeah, knowing you personally, you have totally taken to this opportunity and this experience. And I think it's a great suggestion for other young coaches who are on the come up. Your ego was totally removed from this process. You've been very humble in what you've been doing, but you also been a hard worker. You haven't got away from that part because you haven't used.
I've been working harder.
Yeah, it says you've been working harder, huh?
Yeah, I was a head coach on the freshman and all that type of stuff, assistant coach for a few years before that, and this year is by far I've been working the hardest. I mean, I've put in more hours than I ever have. Just everything, man. Just everything.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Well, pretty soon he's going to be getting ready for another game. We got Coach Tate here. Anything you want to share to the Waverly faithful, to your players, and anyone else as we get ready to wrap this part up?
Dog, brick by brick, we about to be building this thing, dog. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Brick by brick, this thing gonna happen. I'm taking that with me all the way. Like, brick by brick is gonna happen, man. So as long as we got the kids in here in the gym, working hard, that's committed, focused. I mean, Watts is in the gym all the time.
Wow.
All the time.
Right.
And so, and then those that knew me or know me, I'm in the gym a decent amount of time.
Right.
And now that he's here and he's getting it all the way from varsity down to the elementary level, oh,
wow.
It's going to be a wrap, man.
It's going to be a wrap. Well, that's good. Well, you guys heard it here first. This is Lindsey Huddleston with SPS in the building for the SPS Game of the Week over at Waverly High School with Waverly assistant coach, Mr. Keith Tate, my guy. Appreciate all that you're doing. Appreciate that all you're going to do. I just want to keep supporting you, brother.
Thank you, Lindsey. I appreciate you always doing this, man.
That's right, folks. Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building on southwest side. How do you hit a free throw? How do you finish strong? That's important. But the other part of the spectrum is
always packed, always loud, always crazy. So it's a tough place to play in. You gotta go in there with a mind.
So I'll be in there tomorrow. That's really my motivation. Is I want to be like Gabe Brown. Gabe Brown shoots like